sorry. Apparently they want to make another Batman movie, not related to the Joker, but it's what's his name? Patton Stewart or Stuart Patterson?
Stewart?
No,
Patton Oswalt?
The guy who was in those awful vampire movies. What fucking dude with the
Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson, that's it. As Batman. And apparently they're talking to Jonah Hill to play one of the villains.
Penguin?
Well, that's the thing, is there's speculation of him being either Penguin or Riddler. And when I was first told this, I had, as I often do, I had gotten him confused for Seth Rogen. It made me lose my shit imagining Seth Rogen in, like, green spandex covered in mystery marks. He's like, "You'll never solve my riddle, Batman." And Batman's just like, "Is it weed?" Oh! How the hell did you know that? How did you solve my immaculate puzzles? Dude, weed! Oh! How the oh, right, yes. Oh, there's that little shit kid.
You! It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who stepped on my hand.
I don't
Peter
know.
James.
Maybe I did.
I have a gun.
What's a little girl
And a
like you
chainsaw.
doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
What's that letter?
None of your business. You didn't
Don't take
love
that from
Mary
no shit
anyway.
kid.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
I don't think we missed anything in the apartment, did we?
I mean, it's long gone if we did, and I don't want to go back. I don't think we missed anything critical to the game.
Okay.
At worst, we've left behind some bullets. I always really liked Silent Hill Shattered Memories for its way of handling, like, changing the game based on your actions. Because there were slight alterations in ways you could go, and effectively you could change how the game sort of unfolds based on some weird accessory shit that you do.
Yeah.
Like, there's a one part where you go through a red light district, and if you, the player, like, zoom in or stare at any of the posters, it subtly starts changing it, so, to imply that the main character was always a pervert, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You sex pervert, how
Yeah.
dare you look at these things in the red light district?
Or, like, if you went out of your way to hide our stuff, it was like he was a coward, or he was violent, or whatever. Mary, are you still here? Rosewater. I don't want to go in there. But I gotta go in there for dead wife.
It's the, like... There's like a split second in the sprinting strafe animation where he's like just speeds up, like it's like just fast walking and not like running. It's kind of hard to describe. But.
No, I see it. It's I see what you're saying. But yeah, you're right. It's hard to exactly put into words what's going on. No, I bet if it... Oh. Did you say you got handgun bullets, or you're too full of handgun bullets?
Got handgun bullets.
Okay. Oh. Free drink.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Okay.
All I see is fog. I don't like this one bit, said James. Alright. I'm... Oh. Now I remember.
Mary?
No. Wrong.
No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No, my late wife. I can't believe
Remember,
it.
if you see the...
Your face, your voice. Just
Yeah, that's what
hair.
girls love to hear.
So different.
My name is Maria. I don't look like a ghost, do
In this fog? Yes, as a matter of fact, you do.
Well, that's a question you might
I?
not
Feel
want
how
to ask.
warm I am?
Yeah.
You're really not Mary.
I told you. I'm Maria.
Sorry.
Remember,
Confused.
if you run into someone who has the name of the dead person you're looking for, or a slight alteration of it, be suspicious.
Didn't you say she died?
Yeah, James, you're looking a little crazy coming out of the fog with arms full of weapons being like, you look like my dead wife.
You look like my dead wife, lady. Got like a knife in his jacket, a chainsaw in one hand, gun in the other.
Haven't seen
A board with a nail in it strapped to his back.
Is this your own
Have you seen a shotgun
special
around here?
Have you seen a guy named Eddie? Pukes a lot. Might be shooting dogs. Freaky.
For sure in the
Well,
lake.
there's the hotel too.
It's
I
the only
guess.
way.
The one on the lake. I wonder if it's still there.
The Lakeview Hotel? Yeah, it's still there.
Do you know about a hotel that overviews the lake? You mean the Lakeview Hotel? Yes, those are the words I said.
Don't get so mad. I was just joking. Anyway, it's not that way.
Do you want a hot dog,
It's this way.
Maria? There's a cart right here. It's kind of old, but they might be okay.
You take out the
coming with
hot
me?
dog and it's just
We're
covered
gonna
in
just
moss.
leave me?
No, but
There's just one of those squirming
Monsters
bugs in a
no, I
one.
just
He just starts putting like an obnoxious amount of relish in it. Like, looking her
Gotta
in
drown out the taste.
looking her in the eyes, he's just
Don't
and like the bug has long ago stopped squirming.
You don't have to eat
I?
that.
You hated her.
don't be ridiculous.
Jesus,
It's okay.
James.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I'm so hungry.
I've really missed these Silent Hill hot dogs.
Just like I remember them.
It's like green goo leaking out of his mouth. Oh fuck! What was the name of it? Henry. Yeah, I was gonna say this. Like, this is the same stupid chain of thought that brought us to Boomer Henry driving his lawnmower through Silent Hill.
Yeah. Maria, don't get too close or I might bump into you by accident. And that could cause a bad ending.
Don't touch her. I'm not gonna lie. My memories of this game are actually very sparse at this point. I think it's just the entire hotel is seared into my memory as a bad time.
I believe it.
Yeah. I don't feel like anyone enjoys the hotel section. It's got, like, the coolest visuals, like the weird shit with Pyramid Head being weird, but...
Yeah, but then they... Like, the aesthetic of it almost, they
Yeah.
do it again kind of with the hospital.
Yeah.
You do go to the hospital in this one, right?
Yeah, you do, because this is the game that introduced the nurses.
Right.
And Pyramid Head, the only two visuals of this franchise that never should have left this game, but have come to symbolize this game. Or sorry, the franchise in general, really. Which is... it... As cool as the nurses and the Pyramid Head is, the fact that they've become logos for the series kind of takes away from what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Go down that way, I guess.
There's the end of Cat Street. Pete's Bolorama!
Let's go bowling.
Hey Maria, do you like to bowl?
Do you like pizza? Because I know a guy who loves pizza.
Hates dogs, though.
God, I can't see anything.
I love it.
Now there's too much fog.
No, that's too much atmosphere.
This must be the game's subtle way of telling you that you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, by pouring a thick, viscous blob of whiteout across the screen.
No. You don't want to go that way.
Oh, there's a lot of monsters down that road. Oh, can't go upstairs. We modeled these stairs, but don't use them. They make James go crazy.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're developing a small town, and maybe the game's design as far as, like, maps and locations go isn't quite complete yet.
Yeah.
So the developers make models and stuff for a location that doesn't end up getting fully developed. And then they just block it off.
And what I do like about Silent Hill 3 is that a lot of the locations from 3, you can't visit them, but you see them in this game. Like, yeah, you can see a lot of the stuff from 3 in this game. You just can't touch them.
Yeah.
And I do like that they actually come back and expand upon those in the sequel. But it's also... What I don't like about it is it's the game that, like, also spelled sort of the end for Silent Hill's narrative. Because it was just like, yeah, you don't have to be in Silent Hill for Silent Hill to get you. And then that had ramifications for pretty much being the excuse that 4 exists.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, by the way, all those monsters, part of the cult. And it's like, oh, not the cult.
It's the cult's fault, eh?
I kind of like this better when it doesn't have a human source for all the horrible shit happening.
Well, I mean, whenever you explain anything...
Yeah. Look at Prometheus.
I mean, to be fair, though, like, the Alien franchise... The Alien life cycle, like... People... There's another one over there.
There it goes. Maria, if you could kick them, that would be a big help.
Yeah, you got those hooker boots on.
Yeah, those probably do some damage, I've been told.
But anyway, as I was saying, the Alien life cycle, even though people kind of like look at aliens and they go, well, they changed what the alien was supposed to be, and it's less alien because they, you know, like, it's an explanation that kind of makes sense and doesn't really take too much away from it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's a weird alien that takes on the traits of its host.
Yeah.
Right? It can do a lot of different things. But explaining the engineers really backfired because...
they went from mysterious but inconsequential things to literally the source of everything.
Yeah. They were a thing that didn't need to be explained to maintain the integrity of the story.
But they did it anyway. And I mean, like, it's the same, like, it happens in, it happened in 40K too, when they slotted the Necrons in, and they were like, everything that ever happened was a result of the Satan fucking around.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I'm not a fan of that. I liked it better when, like, sometimes in story, you know, there's a place for everything having a reason and everything having a very neat and organized cause and effect. But to that same extent, I feel like sometimes in stories there's just... At least for me, I don't hate it sometimes when things just happen in a story.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes stuff doesn't need to be... Oh, there he is. Oh, he's gone. But yeah, not everything in a story needs to have a deliberate reason to have a good impact on the story.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, like, at least in the grand scheme of things, Prometheus wasn't that terrible of an origin for the aliens. Like, the reason they exist makes sense in the context of Prometheus and all that. I don't feel like Prometheus needed to happen. I feel like I much preferred believing the aliens were just some horrible evolution.
Weapon or evolution of some creature.
Yeah, just some horrible evolution that, like, races kept stumbling upon and getting nearly wiped out for finding out about the alien.
Yeah.
Like, they were a good, horrible space monster that didn't... Like, I don't feel like it needed an origin story. I don't feel like...
You can explain how it works, because
Yeah.
a good...
Because
like,
that's...
a good horror
yeah.
movie monster or killer or whatever, like, it has rules, right?
And that's fine.
Exploring the rules of how this creature works doesn't really take much away
Yeah.
from it. But exploring where it comes from can potentially do that,
Yeah.
especially if it's handled poorly.
Which it was in that particular case, anyway.
Yeah, oh god. Can you see where I'm facing or what I'm looking at?
I'm seeing a lot of white.
fog.
So where are we even supposed to go? I have actually genuinely forgot.
I feel like we're supposed to go to Heaven's Night.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I went the opposite way, or the roundabout way.
He's in that driveway. You got him, James.
Evidently not, because he had to kick him.
Stop it! Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, he's gone. Just ignore him and run. Yeah. I feel like this particular part of the game is a bit overbearing with the fog now. Uh-oh.
End of the road.
Well, fair enough. Yes, that's how America works. Just walls abruptly cut off a street. Oh. Health. That's nice.
There's something out here at least.
Some cause, some reason for this to exist.
I imagine if you look closely enough, there's more items hidden around here, and that's
Yeah.
why it's so foggy. But
I mean, it's foggy also to hide, like, the sheer gut-wrenching amount of pop-in this game has.
yeah,
Like, without this fog, the draw distance for objects to exist is hilariously short. Okay. Oh. Ugh. God damn it. Are you kidding me?
uh-oh. No, stop. Are you kidding me?
That was unfortunate. How far back does this send us? Oh no. I really hope it doesn't send us to the last save. It does! Oh no!
All the way back here.
Alright. We'll see you later, folks.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.